Hey, what's going on, everyone? Tylerriley with River Valley Realty here in Russellville. And if you have ever thought about investing in the Russellville, Arkansas real estate market, here are some of the top things that you need to know, not only about the area, but about the process in general. The population in this area is actually growing faster than the national average and has a lower median age. The regional labor force has a growth rate that's higher than both the national average and the state growth rates. These favorable demographic trends in the Arkansas Valley region will help ensure that there will be an ample supply of labor, which means people are going to be able to afford houses for years to come. The beneficial cost of living lower than the national average is, our citizens are taking advantage of quality school districts, institutions, higher educations, affordability, reliable healthcare providers, a favorable climate, in a beautiful natural situation. I love where Russellville is positioned to major parks and city parks. We're also just about 80 miles away from the Bill and Clinton National Airport, and about 137 miles away from the Northwest Airport over there around Fayetteville. Tulsa is going to take you about 198 miles, 203 miles to Memphis, 263 miles to Oklahoma, 348 miles to Kansas, and 361 miles to Dallas. So we've got these major landmark hubs all close. Here's why you can think about investing in real estate in Russellville. Real estate has traditionally been a hedge against inflation, and there's four major benefits to owning real estate investment properties. The number one benefit, it's going to be your cash flow before tax, because once you collect rent, then you pay your operating expenses and the loan payment. We got to make sure you're going to have some money left after those things. Principal reduction is coming in at number two, because anytime your tenants pay your loan, the principal reduction is actually equity that you now own as the property owner. Number three is income tax savings. The first two benefits, cash flow, principal reduction, are taxable, but both can be sheltered from income tax by depreciation. Appreciation means an increase in value. It doesn't happen overnight, it happens over the years, and I don't put a lot of weight in market appreciation when we go to evaluate your deal. The top things that we're going to really kind of almost scrutinize when we're looking at Russellville investments, I'm going to say it, long-term projections. They're only as good as the assumptions that we make. And so again, we don't put a lot of weight on long-term projections. The most important numbers are the first year numbers. Those are the ones that are going to be the most meaningful to us. The further we go out in the future, the less reliable the projections will actually be. We will run an investment property worksheet. It's a great tool. It's based on solid fundamentals to help you analyze the property before purchase. But get with me and I'll take you through how we will see if the numbers on that property make sense. Importance of financing. Make sure that you got the financing under control, because the investment value of a rental property changes in the event that the financing you have was an adjustable rate. The property's rate of return might have looked good year one when interest rates on the loan were low, but if the interest rates rise in the future, then your numbers don't look the same. So if you have an adjustable rate mortgage, we want to evaluate the deal based on the worst case scenario that interest rate will be. And if that makes sense, then the deal will always be better in the end. Terminology is what keeps people on the sidelines. It's can be broken down clearly. There is a lot to know, but I think if we cover just a few of the top ones, it may give you comfort on knowing that it is a learnable skill and a good way to invest. So annual rents is one of the things that we can look up, and this can be from washing machines, washer and dryers, but we take all your rent and we kind of figure out what that's going to look like for the whole year. Vacancy rate is calculated of a percentage of the rent that is not collected as a result of having no tenants, or just for whatever reason you had vacancy loss. And depending on that and which property you have, that's actually less money than you can get. We typically experience maybe about a 5% vacancy. Gross operating income is what you actually collect. Operating income is calculated by subtracting the vacancy from your annual rent. Total operating income is expenses to include, your debt service. Generally, the biggest operating expenses include property taxes and utilities. But ultimately, y'all, this video isn't designed to scare you away. It's just to kind of give you some basic information, because if you've had any thoughts about purchasing rental properties in Russellville, Arkansas, let's connect to make sure that those numbers are going to work for the property that you've identified. If they don't work in the beginning, I promise you, they'll never work in the end. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this flyby video. Y'all have a great night. Bye.